Alright, what is up, everybody? We are back with another edition of Everyday Hoops. Hope you guys are having a good one. Today, we're going to be talking about the LA Lakers. They're currently sitting 5th in the West, and it's been very weird with this team. They've been very inconsistent, and so it's hard to gauge. Are they a top 5 team in the West? Are they just a playing team on a hot streak? What actually are they? We're going to talk about that here in today's video. Thank you guys for the views on the videos and the shorts recently. I really appreciate it. If you do like the content around here, consider subscribing, liking, turn notifications, all stuff like that. I'd really appreciate it. It really helps out a lot. That's why I turn on all that stuff down in the description below. And yeah, don't waste any more of your time. Let's get right into it. So the LA Lakers are sitting 25-18. They are 5th in the Western Conference. They won 5 of their last 6 games, and things are looking good right now. You know, Lakers have just been on this kind of up and down little roller coaster. A little bit. It's not a crazy roller coaster, but it's a smaller roller coaster, where it's like they have a week where it's like, oh man, they went 3-0, they went 2-1, good wins, and it's like, oh man, Lakers are really good. And then they go another week where they lose 3 games in a row, lose to like a bad team, and it's like, what the heck is going on? I just feel like that's kind of been the season. It's just been a little bit of just like a wave, a roller coaster, a little bit. It's just been up and down. We don't know where to gauge this really, but right now they're on the hot streak. They've won 5 of their last 6 games. I'm looking at their numbers on the year. It also doesn't really tell too much because their numbers are kind of over the place as well. They have the 13th offense, the 22nd defense, our 19th in net rating, which is about average everywhere. So about average offense, a below average defense, and so about average in net rating. Which usually is not. Usually when you see these numbers, this is like about a 7, 8 seed playing type of team. Of course, they are above that, so it's very interesting looking at some of their offensive numbers. Eighth in field goal percentage, so they do that. 3 pointers still are not really a thing for them. They're 28th in 3 pointers made and 3 point attempts, and 19th in 3 point percentage. So they're still not a good 3 point shooting team. 20th in rebounds per game as well. So they have not been a great rebounding team at all either. But they are 6th in turnovers, so they're not turning the ball over a lot. The defensively, the only thing that really sticks out, they're 6th in opponent points off turnovers because they don't turn the ball over a lot, so they're not giving up a lot of points off turnovers. But besides that, all their defensive numbers are about average to below average, like points in the paint, um, opponent 3 pointers. They don't give up a whole lot of 3 pointers as well. They're like in the top half of the league in terms of not giving up threes. They also are one of the best teams at not giving up free throws as well. Um, but the other defense number, their numbers just kind of are very odd because it's like you look at them and you don't think anything crazy of it. Like you look at all these, you take the Lakers out of it, take the team out, and take the record out, and just look pure numbers wise. I would think this is about a 500-ish team. I would think this is a team that's probably about eighth in the West, ninth in the West. Get a win here and there. Nothing, not an elite team, but not a bad team. Just like a okay-ish, cool team. You had the Lakers into it. They're 25-18. You're like, huh. It's just very interesting because their record, I feel like, is a lot better than what their numbers say. You know, and that also kind of leads to the inconsistency they have. They won their first 3 games, and it was like, oh man, here come the Lakers. Then they lost 4 of their next 5, went to 500, and it was like, dang. Then they won a 6 game win streak, and it's like, oh shoot, here they are. Then they lost, let's see, 5. They lost 7 of their next 9 games after that. It fell to like a game above 500, and it's like, well, all right, the Lakers are, everything's bad over there, you know? Then they won another streak where they won like 5 of their next 6. Then they lost 4 of their next 6, and now they currently won 5 of their next 6. So it's like every about 6, 7 game interval of the season, we look at the Lakers in a different light. I mean, they started off hot, then they went on a big losing streak, then they went back to being on fire, then they went another kind of just like run. Now they're back on a win streak. So it's been so weird to kind of figure out how good is this Laker team really. Like, is this a Laker team actually as good as their record says? Are they a top 5 seed in the Western Conference? Are they one of those top teams in the West that can hang with people? Or are they just another play-in team this year, which is probably closer more to the play-in here. But yeah, it's just been very interesting. But right now, they're hot, so we got to give them credit. Right now, they are hot. LeBron and AD are doing their thing. LeBron at 40 is still um just killing it. All-star starter doing his thing. So, and the role players have really stepped up recently as well. Austin Reeves has been a huge part in this Lakers hot streak. In his last 19 games, he's averaging 24 and 7 with a steal. Really good efficiency, 45, 37, 88. He's been very, very good. I talked about him in my players I think what is it, 10 players that need to be talked about more. I feel like Austin Reeves is having a great year. I mean, overall in the entirety of the year, give you 18 and 6 assists per game. He's had the ball a lot more in his hands, which is why they're comfortable getting rid of D'Angelo Russell because they want Austin Reeves to be kind of like the point guard ish a little bit. And he's been really good at making decisions with the ball in his hands. He's just been really, he looks more confident than he was last year, and he's doing some great things. Max Christie as well. Max Christie, since becoming the starter in 20 games, he's averaging 11 points per game, shooting almost 40% from three. He's had some big nights. Last night he had a really good game against the War. Was it that last night game or was it the game before? He had like 4 threes in that game that were big. And yeah, he looks a lot more confident overall in the year, shooting 36% from three. He's finally looking like the Max Christie, the guy that they thought they were gonna get. He's finally developing. He's finally playing some more. Besides that, everyone's been kind of about the same. Rui Chamura, he's missed a couple games. He's shooting 41% from three. He's been solid. Don't connect. Unfortunately, is kind of falling down after having a hot start. He's slowly kind of falling back down. Dorian Finney-Smith, since acquiring him, he's been decent. I mean, he hasn't been out of this world insane. The numbers don't look crazy, but he also hasn't been bad. I mean, shooting 41% from three. That's good. And defensively, he's been doing his thing. So I guess you're like, I don't really know where to gauge it if you're Dorian Finney-Smith. If you're a Laker fan, I guess you're just like content with Dorian Finney-Smith right now. Gabe Vincent has had, some solid minutes. Jared Vanderbilt returned last night, which is a good thing for them, and he gave you 2, 4, and 2, 3 steals. So he did his thing on the defensive end. Yeah, this team, looking at depth and roster wise, still nothing really impressive a whole lot, which is why you're still kind of thinking about the Lakers, like how good are they actually? Because right now they got to rely on Max Christie, Dorian Finney-Smith, Gabe Vincent, Jackson Hayes, Jared Vanderbilt's back. You look at this depth and you're still kind of like left a little bit like, dang, I wish it was better. I wish there was more. Wish there was more consistency there. But I mean, they're playing well right now, so I guess it's like, all right, cool. And maybe this could be the turning point for Austin Reeves and Max Christie and Dorian Finney-Smith is gonna have some big moments, and Jared Vanderbilt's gonna have some really good impact on the rest of the season. Maybe you can kind of think that could be good. But you still look at this team and you're like, dang, like I don't really know where to gauge it because of how kind of up and down the season has been. Right now, they would finish fifth in the West, and they have to go against the Nuggets again. And in a series with those two, I don't really know if I would pick the Lakers in that series. But if you talk about maybe them dropping a 6 or 7 actually, and then playing against the Rockets or the Grizzlies, you might have a better shot there, especially against the Rockets, a very inexperienced team against LeBron James, who's literally probably the most experienced playoff player ever. So maybe you have a chance there. And if you have LeBron James and Anthony Davis, you always hear people say, if you have LeBron and AD, you at least have a puncher's chance. At the very least, you have a puncher's chance. Even if you're not going to win the series, at least you have two of the top four players in that two top four, top three players in that series, and that can help a whole lot. But yeah, I mean, I don't really know how good is this Laker team actually. I don't know. I still think they're about average. And even though they have a better record than a lot of people expect, they don't feel like a fifth seed. Like I just don't feel like they are like a top five team in the West to me. Even though the record says that, like it just doesn't feel like that. Maybe it's also because I feel like the media hasn't really been talking about them as much as recently. The start of the year when they're on their losing streak, of course, everyone's going to talk about them. And then obviously when they're dominating the league and they're number one seed, everyone's going to talk about them. But they're just kind of in this middle where it's like, all right, they're not bad, but they're not great. They're just kind of like cool. So I feel like I'm not really hearing as much about the Lakers as you usually do, which is is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? I don't really know. But that which is why I don't feel like they are a five seed in the West because I just haven't feel like I haven't really heard people talk about them a whole lot. At least for me, maybe they are being talked about a whole lot, and I'm just not paying attention. But to me personally, I just don't feel like they're being talked about as a lot recently, as the Lakers usually are. So yeah, I just kind of don't really know where I stand with the Lakers. There's been a lot of reports that the trade deadline is coming up, and when the trade deadline comes, they're gonna try to make more smaller moves. I've seen Lonzo Ball, I've seen Nikola Vucevic, obviously Jonas Valanciunas has been an option for the entirety of the season, and I just think that's, I guess, the right way to go. Unless they don't want to get on, they shouldn't get in a Jimmy Butler sweepstakes. I just don't think that's maybe the right move for them. And they're just kind of in this weird spot where we all know LeBron is going to be gone in another year or two. Like LeBron will be gone soon, and so it's kind of like, do we risk giving up a 2029 and 2031, those first round picks, for maybe one more year of contention? And then when LeBron leaves, we're just gonna have Anthony Davis and a bunch of just random players, and we're just gonna be like another 8 seed for the next couple years, kind of like, mm, I don't know, similar to maybe Golden State. Even though Golden State's a situation, I feel like it's way worse because of many different reasons. But it's just it's kind of weird. They're just kind of in a weird spot right now, where everyone knows LeBron is gonna be gone soon. You know, they have very, very, very limited assets. There's not really a lot of whole star players on the market right now. So I guess right now it's just like, hey, can we just put the best role players around LeBron and AD and just see what happens? I don't really mind it a whole lot, even though it is the Lakers, and usually you see them star hunting, and usually you see them go out with a bang and do all this stuff. Right now it's just they're in a very weird spot. They're in a very weird spot, and so I don't really know what the right direction is. And I guess the direction is going to be, if we can get Lonzo Ball, if we can get Jonas Valanciunas, cool. We'll just put decent role players around LeBron and AD, and we'll just see how far they can take us right now. That's just the way to go, I guess. But yeah, I'm very interested to see how the Lakers continue this season. Is this going to be permanent where they jump up and stay a top four team in the Western Conference and maybe surprise a lot of people? Or are they just, is it just right now and then this week coming up, they're just going to lose three of their next four games? And all of a sudden things are back into like, oh no, what are we going to do? It's just, I don't really know where they're going to stand for the rest of the season. So we just got to wait it out. But I mean, they're doing solid. I mean, they're okay-ish team, I guess. But yeah, it's gonna be it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, if you like the content around here, consider subscribing, liking, turn notifications, do all stuff like that. I'd really appreciate it. It really helps out a lot. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.